If you are preparing for UPSC civil service examination, PT cutoff is one thing which is always there in your mind. How to clear this, how to cross the PT cutoff. Those people who clear PT, what is so special about them? How they end up clearing their PT so easily. In the last few years, this problem has become more serious. I have identified three basic traits, three basic points that you can keep in mind, which I'm going to talk about now, through which you can be sure of clearing your PT cutoff. One, you should be sensitive about scoring very high in your high frequency area of PT questions. It's not that all the sections have the same importance. Some areas have got high. So you should be scoring high in those high frequency area. Second, you should try and cut down your negatives. I mean, you cannot afford to add to the negatives that you have got. Third, and equally important, is that how you should improve your accuracy in guessing, because guessing is important. So let me explain these three things a little bit more. To score well in high frequency area, I suppose you should not spend too much of time in those stray questions. Because if there are stray questions, the stray question remains same stray question for everybody, you being no exception to that. You should also look into the PYQ over a period of time and then get an idea as to from where these previous year's questions are mostly coming from. And then that is something which is must be very sorted in your mind. You should be very clear about it. And then you should have some experience guidance to take you through all those areas. Otherwise, all questions look as important. I would definitely take you through this. A course that we have launched, free of course, that is going to be PT Shala, where I'm going to take you through those PTs and questions which are of high frequency. Also, you cannot afford to lose the expected areas, because the stray questions you have no control and they can come for anybody, they will be stray questions still. I would also like to underline here one thing. For high frequency area, your familiarity with the basic, that really helps. If you are familiar with the basic, that really helps. The second thing is that, the next thing that is that you should be practice over a long period of time. That lets you know as to which are the high frequency area from where most of the questions are coming. And if you're preparing over a long period of time, you also get to know that how you are improving in those areas of high frequency. The bottom line is that you have to be hungry and excited at the same time. If you're staying hungry and excited for the high frequency areas of the question, I suppose there's no way that you should worry about PT cutoff. Now the next thing is that you have to cut down on your negatives. A lot of people, I mean, while they're preparing for this examination and they're not sensitive about it, in the examination hall, they end up committing so much of negatives and they keep on contributing to the great consolidated fund of UPSC of negatives. So a lot of students go on generously contributing to the negatives, and you observe the kind of test if you have given. If the negatives were controlled, if the negatives were not there, I think most of you would have cleared PT by the correct answers that you have got. It's the negative which is the differentiator. One has to be very careful about it. I think I'll talk in detail at some other time that how to really cut down on negatives. You at least must know as to why negatives happen. Where I'm more inclined towards committing more mistake. You should know the subjects in which your negatives are happening in large number. You should also look at in those areas which is one segment from where the negatives are coming. Within that, you should also see that which type of questions I am contributing more negatives. Let's say, for example, I am having more of my negatives coming from geography. You'll realize it's not geography, it's like physical geography. Maybe later you'll realize it's not physical geography, it's only climatology. Then you realize it's not climatology, it's mostly conceptual questions in climatology or factual questions in climatology. If you are sensitive, if you know yourself well, that I am committing more mistakes in conceptual questions of climatology, and the moment you have to make a decision, you would know that I am not going to do it, I'm not going to take it, and then you reduce your negatives. You have to basically understand the subject wise, the topic wise, the nature of question wise, to know that where I am contributing negative. A lot of people contribute to the negative because of their lack of alert reading. I think that could also be a factor. A lot of people contribute to the negative, and that you have to control, is because their ideas are not crystallized. Let me tell you, UPSC is not asking difficult question. UPSC is giving difficult choices. So if your ideas have over a period of time crystallized, one would find that yes, I am in a position to really answer that well. So it is important that you understand this particular facet. Then also, the third factor, which is why people find it difficult to cross the PT, and that's what I'm making you sensitive, that if you want to cross PT, PT cutoff, you must make better decision. I suppose I like you to spend time with the questions that have gone wrong. Look at the question which you solved and then you solved it wrong. You would get to know yourself that, hey, this is what was a wrong decision, and this I took because of this analysis or this signal or this kind of mental stimulus I had on this question, and that stimulus was wrong. Let your mind learn by visiting mentally those questions again, looking at the questions again, spending 5 minutes on them. Your mind would learn as to, let me not commit this mistake again. Then the decision will become more correct and more crystallized and accurate. That is very important. Also, on the other extreme of it, there are some questions which you left because you thought that probably they can go wrong. I like you to spend time with them also and ask yourself, which I would have taken if I had to take a risk. You'll be surprised. Out of the 20 questions you left, you could have easily guessed and picked up the right answer in 4 or 5 of them, which is a big number, big differentiator. 6, 7 of them maybe at times. So I would like you to let your mind think that how I could have possibly looked at this question if I had to take a risk. Mind learns that I should be taking a risk here. Mind learns on both ends. And it is very important the decision is more accurate. Mind learns how to not make wrong decision. And mind also learn how to take risk by spending time of the questions that you have left. I think both of them are very good trait. But then these things cannot be learned. These things cannot be picked up in last few weeks of the PT examination preparation. It can be picked up if you start early. 21st of October, we are going to start in a few days now. A course which is where I'm going to come live and then get you all these small little things about the PT preparation. And if you give me just a few minutes, we are just charging you some time spent on those live. We are interacting with you. You will get to know about yourself much better, and you would concentrate on your main preparation better because you know that I'll be clearing PT for sure. This is the kind of questions which have been coming. I'm going to take you through that, and then I'll make you learn your own risk quotient. I want you to basically work on your own self for PT, and that is very important because then you would be having more precision in your decision. Decision is a matter of practice. Over these weeks that I'm going to take you through, those live classes, I'm going to help you develop your own precision. You'll also get to control your emotions, and I think that's also a lot of times students mix up, I would say, because they are not able to control their emotion. They get 5 questions in a row, negatives, very difficult, they haven't heard anything about them, and then they commit mistake. I would like you to take it through those kind of phases, those kind of questions, so that you develop an emotional control for yourself. Also, you establish your risk quotient and you know yourself a little better. There are a lot of things which are happening, and I'm going to use all my experience of 3 decades plus, especially for those students who have been finding clearing the PT cutoff difficult, And then because of that, they are not able to concentrate fully on their mains preparation. Give me a few minutes everyday life. There's no fee for that, but then I would ensure that I'll guide you to make investment sometime every day in PT preparation through PT Pathshala, which is what PT Shala we call it. Through that, I would ensure that you get your success in PT without much stress towards the end, as mostly people I've seen them building those stress towards the end. Looking forward to seeing you very soon, just in a few days. All the best.